No music is ever made by connecting the air with the tongue. Music can only be made by connecting the air with the lips. In other words, the tongue can produce no sound. What it can do is take up space in the mouth to make the airway smaller or larger, or completely obstruct it. It has the duties of a valve, or it has the duty of, turning on more or less, allowing more air through or less air, but no sound is made. As a result, you put it in the category of a minor study, not giving it the same importance that you do the study of sound. I think this is important because when you use the tongue incorrectly, it can ruin playing. It can get in the way to the point where you cannot produce tone, where you cannot function properly. And always there must be a source of vibration in order to have sound, and there must be a source of energy, in which case it's a moving column of air. Those two must get together. One way or the other, they have to get together, or you have silence. If you lower the tongue by consciousness of the tongue, you'll simply have another part raise up and take over what the part you lowered is doing. But if you take the reflexes of speech, what was developed ever since you're a child, so that you have a proper stimuli in the brain and the proper reflexes in response to that, you will find the shape according to the vowel, and then as you, with great imagination, use that vowel concept, the tongue immediately shapes for it. If you think, oh, and just think it, your tongue shapes for it right away. Try that. Just, you'll feel your tongue go right down. Think E, and it'll go. You'll feel immediately it goes to the position that you want. But if you try to pull it in or force it into position, other part of it will take over. And I have to go into the anatomy of the tongue because it's very complex, and its use in life is very complex also. In other words, the nerves fire at a different rate in the tongue that's not the same as the rest of your body at all. The extrinsic, intrinsic musculature and all make it into a very complex organ, and it's one that you have to find the psychology of its use and not the physiology and anatomy. And I want you to do a little exercise for your tongue. Just say ki. Ki. Ki ho. Ki ho. Ho. Ki ho. Ki ho. Ho. Ki ho. You feel it popping up and going down. Ho. Ki ho. Ki ho. Try it again. Ho. Ki ho. Ki ho. Now, ki. Ki. Feel the friction? Ho. You feel the lack of friction. Right.
Suggest practicing double and triple tongues.
I would like to practice that speech first. You say that. Establish a rhythm. Just say it. I can't hear you. Of course I can't hear you in any case, but and then triple time, Just get your brain and tongue together where it's used to the speech factor without thinking of the instrument. So you learn it as diction, as a problem of language, you might say first. Then you begin to put it into rhythm and with an air flow. In other words, I don't object to doing it with an instrument right away, and there are no shortcuts in this profession, but there are ways of maximal efficiency. And one of them is to put the horn away because it represents all sorts of complications, and start studying it as language. And you begin to simulate some of what you have in the instrument, which is a flow of air and the pronunciations. Has to be adapted to the instrument, of course, but at least you'll establish the coordination between the concept of function of the tongue and the actual use of the tongue. Then we wanted to, I would have to go with you, show you on the instrument itself, would have to go into a very precise set of exercises, preferably on a monotone, where you're not using alternating fingerings or anything at first, just on single notes of short duration, you practice rhythms. Do-do-do-do, 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 do-do-do-do. Da-ga-da-ga-dum, da-ga-da-ga-dum, da-ga-da-ga-da-ga-da-ga-dum. But always the air has to be on this side of the tongue. You hold your hand up when you do it. You'll find it's a little tricky to do that, but if you blow out here and then pronounce, you've got it.